Hey Janice, Peter here. Actually, Peter here yesterday in your classroom. You were up here. You were in here and there and there, and there were your kitties, right? Thanks for letting me come in. And I'm trying to just a different way of giving you feedback, and I'll try to keep this brief, and not solely just tell you how well it strikes me how well you teach, which I think you do, but talk about the specific things you were doing in class. I want to begin just by saying I think perhaps the most important characteristic you display as a teacher is joy, and it's evident with these youngsters that you like your work and you like them and you care about them. I'm trying to think of who was here. It's probably Natalie Macbeth, but you know she was the quietest of them, and just like your energy, there's a lot of your energy there, you know, attending to her. You got to push back a little bit at Chapin Leatherwood and the like, but you have a real humane connection with everyone in the class, and of course your focus is on language, but I think without your characteristic joy, it just wouldn't be as successful a class. So I want to begin with that. You know, I'm an iPad whore these days, and I'm trying to do this on my iPad. And what I want to point out here is for the ninth graders, it struck me that you paced the class really well. You began with vocabulary energizers, and you got a sense of which kids had done their homework thoroughly and which kids hadn't. You know, and you know, like you manage a kid like Henry Hall who just has a hard time knowing what words mean and hasn't put in enough work. The Lee Young Lee poem, cool, you know, too much for them, right? Yeah, it's a cool poem, but I think sort of washed over them high. But the idea of you know, shifting gears and having a sort of sorbet course of poetry seemed really cool. To me, this was the heart of your class, and you can see I was just playing along, thinking about Beatrice and Benedict and Claudio, and your textual focus is evident. The next slide is going to be just a short video of your course, of a couple minutes from class, but you'll see that that moment when you say to Sean, hey, this is what we do when we talk about a book. We go to the line number and we can all find it. I thought that was really, really awesome. You see my notes here about who's quiet and who's not. Everybody spoke, and as I pointed out earlier, you know, you drew out Natalie and Avery, and everybody had a voice in the classroom. It struck me when you got to the end of the class, and the kids are reading aloud poorly, and something I'm learning from Merrily is that the hard thing of Shakespeare is the language. So why not get the plot right out in front of them? And you did, right? You started with having them open their books and read a little from the whatever introduction it is. But I think I wonder if even more setup, even more kind of spark notey setup of the scene would be helpful, and then you can slow down and really relish the language, which they're close to, but they're not there yet. Anyway, it was really interesting. I haven't taught ninth graders for so long, but clearly you engage with them well. They love you, and you're bringing much out in them. And it strikes me that, you know, in Shakespeare, the hardest language that they'll tangle with, even more attention to language is possible. So that's that. The next slide I will open up for you is a video of you. I hope you can watch it. Let me see what happens now. I'm going to risk just saying I hope this works, and I hope you'll give me some feedback and to see if this actually does work. I know my videography is deplorable. If you stick with it for the full 2 minutes, you get a look at the kids' faces and a look at you at your smartboard, and I hope, if nothing else, it confirms your ease in front of the class and the attention that these kids are paying to you. So, cheers.
Okay. Anybody got a line? Yeah.
She says.
So here's where we go. We go line such and such, and then we can all go, oh, line such and such.
Okay. Yeah, line 63.
Line 63, all right.
64.
Okay. Got it.
He says four of his 5 wits went halting off, and then later in the paragraph he says he hath every month a new sworn brother.
Okay, so 2 slams in 1 paragraph.
That whole paragraph is kind of like just ripping on him.
Yeah, almost everything she says is ripping on him. Okay, he hath every month a new sworn brother, yeah?
When you're not, paragraph 54, there's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict.
Oh, interesting. So you're taking what somebody else has said about them. That's great, yeah. When, who says that? Leonardo. He's like, oh, there's a merry war betwixt them. A merry war. So we know that, is this a, what kind of verb? Is there extreme enmity? Do they totally hate each other? Or they like can't stand to be around each other? Or is it different than that?
They're almost kind of like joking with each other when they're going back and forth.
But it's something there.
It's like a half joke.
Why did you take the time to do that?
She's like,
she's serious.
she's like an older
She's
sibling, almost just picking.
Older sibling, okay.
But in the end, you like the older sibling.
It's like
In
the
end, they don't
nicest
like
way
each
to be
other.
mean, I think.
The nicest way to be mean. Okay. All right. Any other lines we have for Beatrice? Any other things you want to? She doesn't like this. So this is
I have a
all
line.
about Benedict. Any other things that you
Well,
put about it?
I have
Yeah.
another line.